Well, repentance has a cost. Now, it was Christmas 1957, and my whole family were gathered in our large living room, and it was large enough to hold a full-size sleigh. As a matter of fact, you're seeing a picture of it now with my twin brother and me. I'm the good-looking one. When we finished opening the presents, my father handed each child an envelope which contained a $100 bill. Now, that was a fortune for a 7-year-old boy, and I was ecstatic thinking of all the treasures on which I could waste that fortune. Ezra 10, 18 through 19 says this: Among the sons of the priests who'd married foreign wives were found the sons of Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brothers, Maaseiah, Eliezer, Jarib and Gedaliah. And they pledged to put away their wives, and being guilty, they offered a ram of the flock for their offense. So I'm holding this envelope, dreaming of these future treasures. My father turned to us and asked, "Who broke the windows in the greenhouse?" Now, why would he want to bring up that at this particular moment? Why was he spoiling this moment? Besides that, throwing the rocks which paved our driveway had resulted in an incredible crashing when it struck the windows and broke the glass. The fact that the glass broke was not my fault. Newton's law and the fragility of the glass were both to blame for the result. Now, it was quickly determined who had sinned. My father walked over to me and very quietly asked for the envelope. There was no screaming, no anger in his voice. He simply requested it. Now, as I gave it to him, he looked at me and said, "This will pay for the new windows in the greenhouse." Now, I learned a valuable lesson that day. Sin has a penalty, even if you're sorry. The priests had sinned. It cost them two things: their families and something else of value. Now, Christ has ultimately paid the penalty for our sin, and our repentance begins the healing process. But sometimes there's another part of the story. Sometimes there is a lasting consequence to our actions. These consequences are not a payment for what you did. Christ paid for the sin, but rather they're a result of our sin. Today, and the next 2 days actually, focus on repentance. They are going to be unique in this series, as the last two readings are mainly names of those who sinned. And we will look at some of the other prayers of confession in the Old Testament and repentance. Today, I would like you to also read Psalm 51. Tomorrow, we'll look at the story behind the consequences of David's sin. And on Wednesday, we will read another great prayer of repentance, Daniel's prayer in Daniel 9, verses 4 through 19.